Alright, so I have all the inside wiring done. That's all the inside wiring is done. Let me grab a light. Whoops. Let me grab a light so you can see. It's done as far as hooked up. I still have to clean everything up, but I got all the inside dash wiring done. And also, I have the engine harness part done. Of course, like I said, I got to clean everything up. So, and what I like about this harness, let me see if I can, let me grab the light, is that it's similar to the factory harness where it's actually, I don't know if you can see that little split in there. I have the nut in there. But it's in two pieces. Zoom in a little. There's a little split there, and it's in two pieces. So this is the engine side, and this is the front lights and horn. So I'm in the process now of putting all the front lights back up. I ran the wire underneath, over top the wheel well, running the front lights and the horn. I already put the connectors on the horn. So that's where I'm at right now. All right. Oh, let me show you what this kit comes with. This is your main power, your fuses. So I ran it. Unfortunately, this was the best place to put it. I'm gonna make sure the wires aren't where they can hit the fuel or anything. But this was the best place to put it. So, and these holes were already here, so I didn't have to drill any holes. So I have to get a few more bulbs. The kit came with courtesy lights that go up under the dash here, so I just gotta get the bulbs for that. But they take a 631 bulb, and I gotta still hook the tack up, put the console back in, put the dash back together, wire tie, all that stuff, get it dressed up. Okay, so I got the trunk all done, or the rear lights I should say, and all that stuff is hooked up. All that wiring there, that's the old wiring, but the new wiring is right here. So I just gotta secure it, but I got it all done. And it runs around and up and through over the wheel well, and it runs down the floor. Down the floor, and runs all the way up to the fuse box. So got all that in. These are the two wires for the reverse lights. He has that aftermarket shifter, so it's not gonna work. But I hooked them together just to make sure everything is working. And I was trying to, not that I couldn't, let me rephrase that. I was trying to figure out why the reverse lights didn't work. I checked the power going to it, had power, but then I guess with no bulbs in it, it's not gonna work. I didn't even bother taking the one off that side, because if this one doesn't have bulb in it, I'm sure the other side doesn't either. But I guess he didn't put a bulb in it because the aftermarket shifter, they look like fairly new lenses, so they're probably replacements. But yeah, so I got power going to it and everything, just no bulbs in it. And the shifter won't support it. So. All right, so I got all of the wiring done except for, I got the gun here, the heat gun here, because I'm heat shrinking all of these. But I got all of the wiring done except I got to put a relay for the fuel pump over there. I don't have a relay, and then I need another relay for the nitrous system. So I'll get those and get that set up, and then I got to put the not the master cylinder, but the brake booster and everything back on in the master cylinder. But I'm putting all the wire ties on. I took the cap off just so I can get down here for the wires for the nitrous. But I got all the wires run where I need them run to. So I got everything together. I did have an issue with the windshield wipers. The windshield wipers, for some reason, wouldn't work. Even though I tested everything before I put the dash back in. So I end up, hold on, let me turn the camera around. I ended up putting the dash back in, and then the windshield wipers didn't work. Well, I figured it out, that it was the wiper switch. Walk back around here. So I figured out it was the wiper switch. So I called the auto parts, and they didn't have one, didn't even have a listing for it. Went online, saw one on Amazon. Well, I saw a couple of different ones. But then I said, well, let me pull it apart and see what I can figure out. Never had one apart, but it was pretty simple. It was just the ground, because the switch actually grounds the wiper motor. Everything that goes to the wiper motor potentially has power going to it, except for when you turn the switch, it grounds through the switch to put the ground where it needs to be to operate the wipers. So when I pulled it apart, I found that, and I wish I had recorded it, but I didn't. When I pulled it apart, I found that the little brass ground straps were kind of burnt a little bit, so I just cleaned everything up and put it back together, and it worked. So I got everything together. I got to put the center console back in, put the seats back in. Like I said, put the master cylinder on. I just have that bungee cord on there just so when I have the switch on, the brake lights aren't on. So, matter of fact, I will run the lights so you guys can see that everything is working. Hey, did you just sneak in our trailer and not hit that like button? You already in here. Hit the like button. Also subscribe. And while you're at it, leave us a comment. We would like to get so many that we can't even read them. But be respectful. But like I said, you're in here. Hit the like button. You like our content? Hit the subscribe button. I'm watching you. Watching us. Okay, so let's check everything out. Oh, and actually the kit, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the kit actually came with under the dash lights, courtesy lights, which there were none in here before. So I put the courtesy lights in. Like I said, it's American Auto Wire. Really nice kit. Really nice kit. My first time using it. I really like it. So I'll turn the switch on so the tack works. There's no wiper blades on here, so but I'll turn them on. I still got stuff out here, so bear with me. Let's see. So you can see the wipers do work. So like I said, I fixed the switch, so that was good. I'm not gonna spin it over because I have the distributor off and all that stuff. But let's turn on the lights. The dash lights are working. Even the light on the radio is an AM radio. So, but there's no speaker hooked up. Now that it's nighttime, so you probably wouldn't get anything anyway. So let's turn on the turn signal. Turn signal. Hazard lights. Okay. Let's check out the lights. So we got the front lights, park lights, all that good stuff on low beam. Check out the back lights. Back lights are working, even the license plate light. I hooked that up, that wasn't hooked up before. Let's turn on the bright lights. Kit came with a brand new dimmer switch. So you can see bright lights. Alright. Turn signal, you can see it blinking back there. Well, let's do this so I don't have to keep walking back and forth. We'll turn on the hazards. That's our right side. Front. Left side. Right side. Oh, and also, let me show you that the brake lights work. And that's the brake lights. So there we go. So all the lights are working. So we're good to go. And it didn't, this car doesn't have a dome light, so I didn't have to hook up a dome light. So there we are. Everything is good to go. Oh, and I did have it running earlier, but again, I didn't start it because I have the distributor out. So that's it. I'll put everything together and see you when I get that done. Oh, and I think I said it earlier, but the shifter doesn't have a neutral safety switch. I looked it up. They do make one, so I will let the owner know that they do make a neutral safety switch for this particular shifter, but right now it doesn't have one in it, so I wasn't able to hook up the neutral safety switch. So right now it'll start in any gear, which I'm sure he's used to because it didn't have a neutral safety switch. So I'm sure he's used to making sure it's in park, but I will still let him know that they make one and it's not hard to hook up the neutral safety switch with this kit because it just wires that plug in.